Show me what you got. Come on. Yeah.
You know, the martial arts was always second nature, and I knew it was the segue or the trampoline into that world, because people would always compare. Okay, the son of, he's got to be like his dad. He's got to do what his dad does. So you kind of put yourself in that suit.
And when it comes to your kicks, I mean, I'm not a martial artist. I just enjoy movement. I enjoy technique. I instantly felt that you kind of already were developing your own style. You can be sharp and precise if you want to, but then your legs have this way of being a little bit more open, a little more fluid and wide.
You know, it's the ballet training really that did that. I did 12 years of classical dance ballet, and with Patrick Swayze's mother. I like to play a game of chess with the legs. To be honest, I felt more close to acting in The Quest, and it was so short-lived than anything else, and even in Universal Soldier. My father, he always told us, you know, without our fans, we're nothing. And all we have is the dojo and our gym and each other. And that's everything.
What's your favorite Van Damme movie or performance?
I would have to say, oh, there goes my phone.
Whoa.
There we go. Hey guys, everything's all right, we're good? Okay. Sorry about that, Chris, and you should probably keep that.
For sure, man, that's
cool.
Awesome. For sure. Mr. Kris, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. It's an absolute honor. How's it going, man?
I'm good, Chris. Thank you. We share the same name almost.
Same name. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of your dad. The 80s and 90s, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, all those guys. I mean, it's just magical times for me. And The Quest was my actual introduction to you. I didn't know it was you. I know that the internet was still, I mean, it was there, but I wasn't really into it. And so when I first saw you, I mean, your name was Kris, and so was your dad in that movie. And I saw, I thought, wow, he actually looks like Van Damme. That's awesome. They got someone young enough to look like him. I didn't know. Then we fast forward to Derailed, what was that, 2002? And I see the same kid, and your dad does the little thing, and you start doing your kicks, and I'm like, holy cow, like that. But that was just confirmation, man. I didn't need the internet. I didn't need anything. I knew that you were his son, dude. And I was fascinated because acting is my passion. Not only did I want to, be your dad and all these, action heroes, but I wanted to be you because I was kind of closer to your age at the time, and I wanted to be every kid in every movie. So my first question, was acting, martial arts, was that the original dream for you, or was it something that you were just, because you were around it, you were kind of born into it?
A bit of both, I was introduced to it at a young age, and I remember on the set of, I believe it was Lionheart, I would kind of walk around the back lots, of these sets, and it was in LA, I was in downtown and stuff, but they built stuff, and I just natural as it was, I kind of, DNA speaks its own language at a certain age and a child. And so I started to act like my dad was when he was a kid, where he would pretend he was Tarzan jumping from, stairwells in Belgium. I would pretend I'm so-and-so, or this character doing this on this mission somewhere on a different planet, so your imagination gets combobbled with all these different ideas because you're growing, and then before you know it, you want to do movies like your father.
That's awesome, man. Congrats. Well, all of you guys are my inspiration, my education. And when it comes to your kicks, I'm not a martial artist. I just enjoy movement. I enjoy technique. I instantly felt that you kind of already were developing your own style. You see the height, you see the skill, in Derailed, but then later in, say, Kill 'Em All, I feel that, you can be sharp and precise if you want to, but then your legs have this way of being a little bit more open, a little more fluid and wide, and almost like you don't know, where they're going to go or how high or how wide they can go. And I just thought that was impressive, man. Compared to, say, Bianca, your sister, I feel like she's more, she's sharp, she's precise, more technical. And is that, I hope I'm not being disrespectful.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's the ballet training really that did that. I did 12 years of classical dance ballet, and with Patrick Swayze's mother. And she had a studio here where we live. And as a kid, I went through 12 years there, almost 15. And it was the best decision ever. In ballet, everything's wide, everything's very open. So yeah, my father taught me with the tight chamber, the screwdriver technique, the Bill Wallace, knee snap into the, chamber arc and all that, and execution. And my sister got into a lot of the kind of more modeling, poised, slow motion kick territory where it's very technically correct. When you're actually fighting, and I used to compete for some years, nothing like my father's level, but I would compete as a kid, probably from It's like 14 all the way to like 21, 22 kind of, maybe a little earlier, like 12, 13, but kid stuff doesn't really count. But when you get like 18, 20, 21, 22, you really start to compete. You get hard-hitting guys and all that, and you have to find your own style in the ring. And with Shotokan, it's a very linear style. But I brought in a little bit of something else into it, where a lot of switchbacks, a lot of fakes, and my father was big on that in the 70s. If you look at a lot of his late 70s, early 80s kind of competition material, you see a lot of the knee up fake, and he'll come in forward and go behind. He'll switch back and come in on the inside. He was incredible, and his speed for the size of his leg, just insane. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good way to look at it. I like to play a game of chess with the legs.
That's awesome, man. And so when it comes to the acting versus martial arts, I mean, what was first for you? Because I felt that, obviously you were in a lot of your dad's films, and I saw you in all these roles, but they weren't always necessarily on the action side or martial arts side. And so, was that your choice from the beginning, or just a coincidence? I mean, what came first for you?
The martial arts was always second nature, and I knew it was the segue or the trampoline into that world, because people would always compare. Okay, the son of, he's got to be like his dad. He's got to do what his dad does. So you kind of put yourself in that suit. It's a lot of weight to carry, but to be honest, I felt more close to acting in The Quest, and it was so short-lived than anything else. And even in Universal Soldier, I felt very, very close. A lot of martial artists in front of cameras tend to forget, in my opinion, based on what I've seen so far, how to build a character. There are very few that know how to digress and dissect and separate that value system from this value system, acting value system. And so basically, why would this character, being a regular police officer in this script, throw a beautifully executed reverse roundhouse or mamawashi or whatever the kick is, right? Helicopter kick. Why? Is there a reason? That's where actors start to digress and dissect. And I think guys who accomplished that, and guys who I looked up to as a young actor, and I still do, Daniel Day-Lewis in The Boxer. Like for me, the way his background as a method actor is what I studied, and so I like that deep dive. Like with Mexicali recently, I did that a lot, and it was a really fun process.
I saw it last night, man. You were awesome, dude. And the one thing I will say about you and your entire family, I mean, all of you have presence. Take the martial arts, take the training out of it. I mean, y'all just have this gift, this gene. I mean, all you have to do is stand there. You don't have to say anything, and you just look awesome on camera. And I mean, that's what made the 80s and 90s so magical, is that all these actors had presence to them. And I feel like that's what all of you, have and were gifted with. And, Bianca, there's that movie where she had that alien movie, the UFO, right? Where she's fighting your dad, dude. And you see it right there. That was the first time I had ever seen her in a movie. And I was just like, wow, like she has it too. And I would love to see Bianca like in just like some kind of Terminator, silent type movie. And then, dude, with you and your dad, because nowadays we have all this CGI and aging, technology or whatever. But you guys, I mean, you don't have to do that. I would love to see like a dark, very slow Godfather, Unforgiven type movie with you and your dad. And obviously, you could play the younger version of him. Both of you have the martial arts, no CGI, no nothing. I mean, I just think that would be amazing, man. And you got to throw your mom in there, because I mean, she's a rock star, man. I did get to see a little bit of her in the reality show that y'all had, and I mean, just all of you just have so much heart, man. And all of you guys are superheroes.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate all the kind words. That means a lot, Kris. The charisma is something that you either have it or you don't, and I have it less than some of my siblings. They're just so naturally gifted. They're like blades on camera. But the problem is that a lot of people are not like you and me. A lot of people, they don't vibrate on that frequency of understanding, that sensitivity bracket of where to put a camera, of what to recognize. And that's because you're a self-fulfilled human being. When you're a self-fulfilled human being, you can read the room easier, because you're so comfortable with yourself that you're not looking for something to mask cope yourself with, right? Or someone. But regardless, that's something we've written a lot of scripts, my brother and I together, my sister, my brother and I together, my father and I, my father and my brother. And these movies, they're fantastically written films. They're very realistic. They're period pieces. We've got Vikings, we've got a Western piece, we've got a pretty modern day piece. We have period pieces from the 90s and 80s. They're all very this isn't there. But, oh, there goes my phone.
Whoa.
There we go. Hey guys, everything's all right. We're good. Okay. Sorry about that, Chris, and you should probably keep that.
For sure, man.
That'd be
That's
cool.
awesome. For sure, for sure. And the fact that you, I mean, you've seen, the industry then versus now. I mean, from your experience, I mean, what's the Kris Van Damme dream project, or who would you want to work with?
It's a great question, man. I would love to have a second with Daniel Day-Lewis, just a second. And I would love to be directed or work alongside Keanu Reeves. I think he's cool. Shia LaBeouf's another one. I got to work with his dad, Jeff, who's a wonderful, wonderful human being. Big life, very interesting life. And I would love to work with my father and my siblings on something, man. Like, that's a big one. And it's always tough because politics in and outside of family makes things a bit complicated. But, movies are movies, and how much do we love the art to sacrifice the emotion, right?
All hard, dude. I mean, you're truly a legend in the making, man. I mean, you're kind, you're humble, super talented, and not just in your movies, man, with your training and with your life. And I hope it's okay that I share this story, dude. I mean, the first time that I actually got to speak with you was during COVID. I saw a podcast you were on Viking Samurai's channel, Mr. David, dude, also an awesome martial artist and bodybuilder. He's given me a lot of health tips over the years, and you were on his show. And I heard you speak, and I saw you doing all these crazy exercises, all these pull-ups and body weight exercises, and I was just like, wow, like I had no idea that you were in that kind of shape. And dude, it was so inspiring. So I reached out to you, man. I sent you a message, just asking, what your fitness routine was. And dude, you sent me an audio message, man, and you kind of shared some info. And I mean, dude, that truly meant a lot. I was actually going through my own transformation at the time. I'm still a big guy, but I was an even bigger guy. I was about 320 pounds at my heaviest. And so I was just soaking up all this information. I thought, if I'm so passionate about acting and making movies, why can't I be like that with my health?
Commend you, man, for doing that. Very few people are able to do that. And for those listening out there that are in a similar situation, I think guys should look up to Kris, because it's not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do. It challenges your psyche beyond measure, because you realize you're trapped in this bone and meat bag that we all are trapped in, and you can't do anything about it like a light switch speed, and you're trying to change, and that devotion is key. And it forces introspection, self-awareness, which my father is big on, myself as well. And then it forces success to come out eventually, because consistency is the key to success. So yeah, man, hats off, kudos to you, bro. And keep it up, dude. Keep it up. Keep doing the calisthenics. They're the best. Lifting your body weight is the hardest but best form of working out. Trust me, I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
My father, he always told us, without our fans, we're nothing. And all we have is the dojo and our gym and each other. And that's everything, what you represent. And going back to the consistency, so I commend you for that, number one. Number two, the consistency in working out, that's something that I promised obviously my family, but primarily my grandfather. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Grandpa, 92 years old.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. My grandmother is resting in peace now. May she continue to rest in peace and guide us and protect us. She's an amazing woman. And he's alone, so it's very tough for him. But regardless, all will be well. My grandfather told me, he said, Kris, you have to be able to lift a box when you're like 80 years old. That's it. A box. A heavy box, fairly heavy box. If you can lift a fairly heavy box and ride a bicycle until you're 80, 90, maybe more, you'll be all right. So I always found a way to stay in shape, and push-ups was that very first. Because when I was younger, dude, I didn't want to train. I was just doing martial arts. I was thin. I was lean. I was blah, blah, blah. But I didn't want to go to the gym and train. And my father pushed me. My grandfather confirmed that I should do it, and all this, the way he talked to me. And I listened, and I became in the shape I am today because of the consistency. But I can't lie to myself. I have to every day, no matter how tired I am, no matter how many beers I've had on a weekend, I still have to do my push-ups. And I take one rest day out of the week. Usually it's my cheat day, when I just eat whatever I want and drink a few drinks with some friends. And that's occasional. But I don't smoke, don't do drugs, none of that. And Monday through, let's say, Friday, devotion. Saturday, break day. Sunday, warm back up into Monday, because when you get older, you need a slow warm-up back day. You know how that is. The body's like, I need 24 hours to recoup. And then diet, of course, is like 80% of it all. So I commend you for that.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I still have a lot of work to do, man, but I'm ready. I understand now that it's a lifestyle, and again, all of you inspire me, and I really appreciate, people like you, like your family, like David, like Viking Samurai, who have just been active and consistent their entire life. And I understand, I get it, and I'm just excited that I'm glad that I figured it out, and I'm glad that I'm looking forward to the rest of my life, just trying to be better every single day, man. So again, I really appreciate it, dude. It's been a dream come true to have you here. I do have one last question. I mean, we're talking about all these films. We're talking about the 80s and 90s. Obviously, I'm sure you've seen your dad's movies, 1,000 times. And my last question, Kris, what's your favorite Van Damme movie or performance?
I would have to say it ranges between three films. The first of his films that I loved so much was Legionnaire. And that's when, as I started to get a bit more cognitive with my understanding of cinema and acting, I started to know what acting was a little more, little by little, as I grew older. Then it quickly went into JCVD, obviously, because it was a different, Replicant was one that showed me the diversity of what an actor can do, especially in his field and his genre, which is hard to market. A lot of people don't want to hire him for Days of Our Lives or whatever, it's or theater, but he's good.
Replicant, dude, the scene where Michael Rooker comes in and like beats the crap out of your dad, and he gives this reaction. Phenomenal performance, man. The water in his eyes, everything, just wow, dude. I mean, I'm always looking for these standout moments in any movie, and your dad, man, that's my favorite shot in Replicant right there.
My father is a very underrated actor. I think he's very good, and I think he refined himself over the many years and directors he's had and writers he's had along his side. He's very blessed to have had all that talent around him as well. And then Lucas, the bouncer. Lucas was just amazing. It's just incredible. I think it really started, the seed was planted in me when he played, forget his character, I should know this better. Forget his character's name in Lionheart.
Oh, Leon.
Duh. They were going to be like, boo, that's not his son. He doesn't deserve to be his son. So Leon. I remember when I was a kid, I was getting a blood test in Belgium, and I hate needles. I still do. I'm terrified of them. I don't like them. And so my grandfather's holding me. It's okay. Look, I'll do it. They poke him, and he's got big arms. He's like 6'3". He's a big dude. They poke my grandpa, and I'm like crying, And the doctor puts on one of my dad's movies, and he fast forwards the movie all the way to the end. Very smart doctor. And it's the famous scene on the street where my dad comes running back to the family, from the long lens, and he breaches the horizon of the street, and the music's playing. And I missed my dad in that moment so much as a kid that I started crying from the needle to that. And then they poked me, and they took my blood. So that was the starter of emotional output and watching movies with my dad. But then it really started to grow when I started to understand character values and all this. And with Legionnaire, I saw a beautiful character arc, but I just wish it was a little more, I wish it was more refined. It was a 90s movie. I just wish it was more refined. And then when JCVD came out, I was just, and a Replicant, of course, before that, but JCVD really blew my mind and got me closer to my dad in the sense that, wow, my father understands acting the way I look at it. And we never had a conversation about it before. So it actually brought us together. So, it's like a bridge of relatability, so to speak. And it helped our relationship as father and son. And then when Lucas came about, it was one of his best pieces, in my opinion, in terms of an actor, So, yeah. Another film I left out, because I do love speaking cinema, was In Hell. That's what, that was a real big step up for him. Also Ringo Lam. Very big step up for him on that. Ringo passed away, God bless him. But I grew up with his son, Royce. He was a wonderful kid, lives up in Vancouver still, I think. And we would hang out in my animation days and all that. And I'd spend time in Hong Kong with them. It was great because I'd go into Ringo's office and it smelled like cigarettes. And he had like 48 Golden Horse Awards on this like crown molding in his office and all the pictures from all different movies. He's a brilliant director. And my father and him clicked on a level that was, he would be the only guy next to Peter Hyams who would look at my dad and tell him, stop and do it differently, and no one spoke to him like that. And all of a sudden, my father humbled himself and immediately took the high road of, okay, I either live here and stay here, like every other action guy, or I'm like Stallone, where I breach the value. Because Sly's, I've got mad respect for him.
Right on, man. Well, Lionheart's my favorite Van Damme movie of all time. Performance-wise, though, dude, I gotta give it to Time Cop, man. When he's playing the older version of himself, dude, just love that, man. The scene where he's watching the little birdhouse video, you know, his wife and everything, and he's reciting the lines. I mean, just, man, dude, epic stuff, man. I feel like Peter Hyams, the director, you know, just has a great way of bringing that stuff out, you know, in the actors, because he did the same for Arnold in End of Days. That's my favorite Arnold movie, performance-wise. And dude, just, yeah, man, epic stuff, dude. Mr. Kris, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Super congrats on all your incredible work, talent, and success.
Beautiful, brother. Awesome. Thank you for your accuracy and everything. I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You're very welcome. And dude, to your sister, to your family, all of you. I mean, the invitation is always open, man. I think all of you have such an incredible story. You're a family full of superheroes, dude.
Oh, dude, you're a superhero, man. For doing what you did, amazing. I pull my hat off to you, sir.
Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're already a legend, man. Guys, thank you so much for watching, rewatch. I mean, there's so many movies to rewatch. You need to watch them all. Check out Mexicali, Kris's latest work. You can also follow him on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.